In this video, I'm going to show us how to start the vector portion of our logo creation. So the things we should have already done is yesterday you guys should have done the front of your sheet, just basically going through and watching, not watching, but looking at the slideshow and going through and putting down the things that a graphic designer does, what a graphic designer is, and then what's a logo and those kind of ideas, answering all the stuff in the front, which leads us into the next portion, which is going to be you going to the second page and planning out after you watch the videos from the slideshow. There's 3 videos on the slideshow that talk about just thinking like a designer. So with those thoughts in mind, we plan in the spaces on the second page. You don't need to print the assignment sheet out. You can just do this on a scratch piece of paper. Just planning out your logos using the symbols that you've already made in Vector. So I have my first one. This is an Industrial Tech logo, INDTECH, standing for Industrial Tech. Circular saw blade, a piece of wood kind of being cut is kind of like the border or the captivating piece, the piece that kind of makes it memorable, emphasizes the piece that are in the middle, underlining, I guess, circling. The next one I have over here is just the fishing poles, and then Dad, just because I have 2 little guys, and it's just, I don't know, one of those things I was thinking about, being home with them all the time. And a little heart. You see these logos all the time. Sometimes they have circles around them, which can kind of also bring emphasis. I'm going to start mine this right here. I'm going to add a circle later on in my vector just to see it. I'll show it to you in one of the later videos. But it's just, you can do things really easily in Vector, adding and subtracting. So right now I'm just leaving it this way. But I have them both planned out. If you don't get that far today, if you don't get to this, it's not a big deal. At the same time, this is what we're working towards. The next thing I'm going to show you is going into Vector. We are going to actually go and make a new page. So I have this page with all my symbols, which we should have already exported as an SVG and put into our last assignment in Schoology. But the next thing is going over to this Pages portion, and we're going to add a page. When you add a page, this puts a page below. We can go and copy things from our last page and put them into this. But the next thing I want to do is I want to make this a certain size. So the width of this, what we're doing with this logo is we're going to actually get the ability to, I'm going to try to get into the school and use my laser engraver for a day. So I want to get your objects burnt out of some 1/8 inch birch Baltic plywood. And I'm going to make a little keychain. You're going to design the shape of it. So we're going to start with a 2 inch by 2 inch piece of material, and you can kind of construct what you want it to look like, or what shape you want it to be cut out as in the next steps. But right now we're just going to organize the logo in that space. So setting up, we're going to go over here, and we're going to go width. We're just going to go 2, and then we're going to go IN immediately afterwards, and then tab. That sets that up. Right now I realize that this is still linked. I want to unlink that. Alright? And then the next portion, clicking in over here, is I'm just going to do the same thing. 2, IN, and then hit tab. It should be the same number, 192 pixels by 192 pixels. There is our 2 inch by 2 inch square. I'm going to use my scroll wheel to zoom in on the piece. This is the space now that we're going to be creating stuff in. When we zoom out, when we bring things in from our other document, they may be huge because this was like a piece of paper. This is like a 2 inch by 2 inch piece of that. So it's not even a little portion of it. So going into my last little portion here is how you bring your symbols in to organize them or try to create these things, is you go to your last piece. I'm going to start with going into my, what was my first one I had on my drawing? Oh, the circular saw. So to get them in, I'm going to grab it by selecting it, and then I'm going to do a Control C. I'm going to go to my new page, and I'm going to do a Control V. And that should bring it in. Alright, notice I had to scroll out and find it because it was somewhere in my space. So I'm going to move that over, and you can see how big it is. And once again, the Shift key, if you grab the corner at the same time, it'll hold the ratio so it doesn't squish it or smash it in any direction or dimension. But I'm just going to kind of start with this. But what you want to do next is you want to start bringing your symbols in, and you want to try to start building your logo. Tomorrow we will kind of cover some ideas about just breaking up space and those kind of things. So today, just kind of bring them in, organize them, arrange them the way you want to arrange them. But I hope this video helps. Once again, come into the meet if you have questions. I enjoy having conversations. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.